Hey guys, it's Tirzepatide again. If this is your first time watching, hello and welcome. My name is Christina, but I'm just gonna go by Tina. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. We are currently at 18 subscribers, so I would like to thank all of my new subscribers. I think I was like at 16 or 17 on my last video. So thank you to the new person or persons for subscribing. Let's get right into it. This week, I'm not going to be super long. I say that every time, but I really mean it this time because I don't really have much to talk about as far as week 14 is concerned. Basically, I am down negative 0.4 pounds, so almost half a pound. And I was on my cycle this week. Yeah. So I felt like I felt a little bit more fatigued than I normally feel. And I have, my bouts of constipation, but I have something soon that is coming that should help knock that right out. So I just have to wait. I'll do a haul on that stuff once I get it. It's part of Subscribe and Save, so it's supposed to be here on November the 7th, but you guys know how that works. Sometimes it's early, sometimes it's late, so look forward to that video around, I was going to say around the first week of November, but I guess technically today is November the 1st, so maybe next week, within the next 2 weeks, just put it like that. Today is November the 1st. I just realized that. So happy November, I guess. I hope that you had a happy and safe Halloween. I was originally going to do a short for Halloween, and I could have sworn I saved it in my drafts, and I'm not sure what happened to it. But it was basically, in honor of Halloween, I was going to just talk about my favorite candy. It was just going to be, super short because it was a short, but, and, mention my favorite candy, just kind of to break things up. I guess I can mention it here now. I don't currently have any, but my favorite candy at the moment are those Nerds gummy clusters. I'll probably insert a picture so you guys can see in case you don't know what I'm talking about. But I just, it's like a nerd cover. Well, it's like a gooey, no, it's not gooey. It's like a chewy center covered in nerds, basically. So that is my favorite candy at the moment. But I guess there's no reason to really talk about it now since Halloween was yesterday. Yes, so that's about all. I think it's pretty much business as usual. I felt a little bit more tired this week than I normally feel. And, like I said, I have my constipation this week. But other than that, I don't really have much to talk about. I did go and vote, so if you haven't voted and you're able to vote, make sure you vote. I was going to say before Tuesday, but I guess technically you don't have to vote before Tuesday. You can vote on Tuesday, just make sure you vote. I was able to. Where was I going with this? Oh, yes. I was basically just going to say that when I went to vote on a whim. I was going to vote anyway, but on Wednesday, I was just like, I'm just going to go vote now. Because I thought about going on Halloween, and I was thinking, oh, well, I don't know. Maybe kids might be there. Maybe it might be like a lot of extra people. But maybe Halloween would have been a better idea. But anywho, I went on Wednesday, which was the day before Halloween. And it took me over 2 hours to vote. I had to wait in this long ass line. And typically, I don't have to wait it. Well, I take that back. The last time I remember waiting in a long line to vote was actually when it was Trump against Hillary. I remember waiting in a long line there. I think I probably waited maybe an hour 45 minutes to an hour back then. So this is the longest time that I've actually had to wait to vote, and election day that day. But this past few years I have been early voting. So I went to early vote and it took over 2 hours. But the whole time I was behind a woman. No, the woman and her child. Well, she wasn't a child. She was like 18, because this was probably like this was her first time voting. But I was behind this woman and her I guess you can still call her a teenager, and her teenage daughter. I wasn't behind them. Why do I keep saying I was behind them? They were behind me. And the girl was complaining the whole time. The teenage daughter was. And, you know, as you're there listening to people complain and whatnot, and I'm looking at the girl. I mean, she's 20 years younger than me. And she's like probably a good 100 pounds lighter than me. She had her belly button out. Like, ma'am, if I can see your belly button without lifting up fat to see it, like, you're fine. But she complained the whole time about about how her back was hurting. And this, I'm like, what the sorry, you guys. I'm like, am I looking at the same person? Like, I don't know. I don't think I've ever been that girl's size, because she was taller than me. Of course, I've never been her size. But maybe in elementary school, we might have had the same BMI. But I'm like, why? But anywho, that's a whole nother story within itself. But the whole time, but I'm going to say that to say this. Everything is about perspective, because she was complaining the whole time about how she felt so bad. But I don't know if I was just there off of adrenaline or what. But the whole time I was just, I'm not going to get all emotional, but I was just thinking about like how thankful I was. Like, I'm thankful that I'm not where I was as far as my physical health, that I could actually stand there for over 2 hours and wait to vote. So it's just like, I don't know. But like the whole time I was like, she was complaining the whole time. And I even took it back further. I'm like, nobody's here with a water hose or a German Shepherd or police trying to beat my head in to vote. Like, I was just so grateful that I was in a relatively safe area. Nobody was harassing me. I was able to stand there. The weather, I mean, it was a little breezy, but considering it was the end of October, the weather was damn good. I think the weather had got up to like the high 70s that day. But it was a little windy. But as we waited until the night, because it got dark on us while we were out there waiting, I was just grateful, basically, that the weather was nice. It wasn't cold. It wasn't raining. And since we were there so long, the polling place actually closed, and nobody came out like, hey, you guys, it's closed. You guys got to leave. Like, they let us stay there at the vote. And then after I voted, and I probably was there, I got there like 5:45. I probably got there like 5:40, and I got in line like 5:45. And I didn't get back to my car till like 8 o'clock at night. And even then, it probably was still like another 150 people behind me, in line behind me, waiting to vote. So, and the polling place closes at like 7. So I was just grateful the whole time. But all she did was like complain. But I was so grateful and so thankful. I didn't even let that bring me down. I'm like, damn, this girl complains a lot. And she's like, I just want to go sit in the car. I don't even want to vote anymore. And her mom's like, you're not sitting in the car. You're fine. And then we finally made it up closer to the door, and they had like, some benches there. Not like they had benches there for people to sit, but like benches, I guess, are naturally at that area because it was like a park pavilion type situation. And then she sat down on the bench, and then she was like, and then her mom's like, why are you sitting down? You're only going to be able to sit there for like 2 to 3 minutes. Get back up. But I was just grateful that I was able to stand there for over 2 hours to vote. And I probably wouldn't have been able to do that this time last year. Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say. I think sometimes as you're on a weight loss journey, you get discouraged because you don't feel that the weight is coming off fast enough, or or you gain weight because weight is fluid. It'll go up, it'll go down. So I think sometimes you get discouraged and you can't see the bigger picture, that you're not where you used to be. And then 6 months from now, you're not going to be here anymore either. You're going to be at a different spot. So I'm not going to say any more about that. I'm going to have some other videos that I'm going to talk about as far as that is concerned. But I was just incredibly grateful. I was just grateful. And sometimes I think, especially if you're a smaller person, or like that girl, for instance, I felt like she was kind of taking it all for granted. Like, ma'am, you're going to be all right. And her mom wasn't acting like she had like any like serious health problems or she'd be like this. Her mom is basically like, quit whining. Her mom didn't tell her to quit whining, but the vibe was, why are you whining? If I can stand here, you'll stand here. I'm gonna have to edit that part out. But if this obese broad in front of me can stand here, you'll be fine. It was like older people standing in front of me. If these older people could stand here, you'll be fine. Like, everybody around her pretty much was in worse shape than her, but she was the only person complaining. And then, I don't know, I smelled like a hint of weed, so I think somebody might have been out there vaping. It was a crazy 2 hours. But I was and then when I got up there, like, the poll worker snatched the thing out of my hand, but I couldn't even complain or get mad about that, because I was just grateful to be there. Like, don't snatch no shit from me, but like, I was just like, you didn't wait for 2 hours, do not cause a scene. But I didn't even care about that because I was just so grateful to them. And if you do vote, please be respectful of the poll workers and the people there. They don't get paid that much. They barely get paid anything. And they just don't need the drama and the attitude from people. Just go there, just stand in line, just vote, and just leave. Like, don't harass them for whatever reasons that you think you might need to harass them. If they snatch some shit out of your hand, just let it go, because, they've been there all day, or a good portion of the day. And these are hard times and things are stressful, and they're just trying to help facilitate this. Those are the true patriots, because that is a thankless job. And and the guy in front of me, they had like a sign-up sheet, and I didn't know what this sheet was for, but I saw him signing, so I'm like, oh, let me go over here and look it, and it was a volunteer sheet, and I was like, no ma'am, no sir. That's not my ministry. But anywho, they're just doing their job, and a lot of times it's thankless. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. I wasn't trying to get political or anything like that, but I was basically just saying that I was grateful that my health has improved, that I was able to stand there. Now, I'm not going to say when I left there, maybe once I got home, like, the adrenaline had went down and I just felt physically exhausted. But in the moment, I was able to stand there and everything was everything, and I was just so happy and grateful. So I know I said I wasn't going to go on, but here I am at 14 minutes. So I'm just going to end it right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please stay tuned to this channel. I have some more videos coming up very soon to talk about some big milestones that are ahead of us. So please stay tuned, and I already said that for the 57th time. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my 18 subscribers. Thank you to Val for always commenting. Just thank you guys so much. I appreciate you, and I'll see you later.